1. Here we go. We're live. We're still setting up though. So we're getting computers ready.
Hello.
So there you go. Jet says hi. And we're just going to get a few things ready. I'm going to put you guys on the stand, so there might be a little bit of a white... Oh, no one on the couch, but give me 1 sec, I'll put you guys. You can press that one if you like. I'm just going to fix you up.
We're a couple of minutes away, aren't we?
No, we're actually supposed to be started.
Starting.
That's okay. So hi to everyone. Hey, Jamie.
It's 2 highs.
That's 2 highs.
I don't think there's anyone there.
They'll get there. I think they should take a couple of minutes to kick in.
I didn't let anyone know to come onto mine.
Oh, didn't you? That's okay. Nick Summerfield. Hello, Nick. There's Jet and Adam de Jong. Look at that. They're all joining in.
Get ready. Bring in the A game today. Here we go. We're
Hey,
building an audience for you. Thank you very much, Facebook. How good is that?
Pretty good, isn't it?
It's
I'm
awesome.
right.
We've got about 50 cameras here, and none of them make us look any good.
Little bit of... What is
At
it?
all.
Look at that. You've got a little bit of bright off the head. Hello, Brenda.
Hey, how you going out there?
And Jeff is saying, I think your head's
Jeff,
too
big
bright.
guy, what's going on? Big guy, good to see you, mate. Or good to see your name anyway.
Oh, no.
Someone's calling in. Now you got to
phone
check
calls.
in through your Facebook, guys.
Yeah.
Brenda, hello. Jamie,
See, now you're getting some...
hello. Sarah, how are you? What's going on?
So, hi, Alinta. All right, we're going on... that one.
Nearly about to get started, guys.
Yeah. We're just waiting for the beers. That's what we're really waiting for.
That's not true.
April's going to get us some beers.
I hope you can hear us.
Okay, which one?
April's going to fill the tray.
That one?
Yeah, there's that one, that one, that one. This is a professional setup. Who we got here? Darren, mate. How are you, champion? What's been happening? Joshy on Instagram. What are you doing? Get him out of there. Shams, hello, darling. How are you?
So,
We're going to learn some stuff tonight.
here's a setup. This is on the real estate community.
Is it Hello Real Estate Community?
There you go.
Jet Xaviert Live, Nat Group, Hope Island, where are we? Gold Coast, rocking and rolling, just about to start.
With this kind of weather, I'll quickly show
With
you.
this kind of weather, and we're just waiting. We're just waiting. I know which camera. I got one there. I got one here. I got one there, and we're just waiting.
So,
Perfect. We're nearly ready.
nearly ready.
For like a couple of minutes. We're about one Corona below. And we're going to be looking at winning the mental game in real estate, because that's probably the most important thing in your career. The guys and the girls at the top are the ones that win the mental game in real estate. So, all right.
No, this is tricky.
We've got about 20 cameras here. Who else is online here? Adam Sargent, what is doing, mate? How are you? Big Jet Xaviert, here he is. the man, the mountain. Here he is, the one and only GJ. Yes, I'll have a lime in my Corona, thanks. So, for those of you who have just joined us, we're looking at winning the mental game in real estate. Live feeds here. I think we've got Periscope, Facebook. I think we've got, what else have we got?
We've got Facebook,
We've got Facebook,
Periscope.
we've got everything. It's all happening.
Oh, you're getting
Stick
some love.
around.
Look at that. You're getting
It's
some
only
love.
going to be about 45 minutes of the best stuff in RE around how you win this mental game in real estate. We've just got a few tech issues we're setting up here, and then we're going to, is this plugged in?
Tech issues being, I think he's looking for the...
Just got to thank our sponsors. This is we're just thanking our sponsors here, Nat Group. They're at Hope Island, easy to find, just GPS it. The other thing is we're going to be giving away, or I'm going to be giving away $1,500 worth of coaching to somebody tonight. So stick around till the end. It's not going to happen till the end. Or go and get a beer and come back. It's up to you. But we're going to give away $1,500 worth of coaching. Sam, mate, how are you? Adam, how are you? Michael, how are you? Julie, how are you? Good to see Cole. Let's rip into this.
Nearly there. It's got one more thing to fix. There's always one feed that doesn't want to work. So,
Turn it. It keeps facing that direction.
You are a champion.
how do you mean? Sorry, a few technical issues. Is someone facing the wrong way? One of these cameras?
No. It won't stay
Oh,
in
twist it.
position.
Okay.
All right.
Nearly there. All right, we're just going to set up.
So anyway, I'm ready for this this session.
Oh, he is ready. Look at that. Look at that.
I'm going to take
Look at
my
that.
seat. I hope everyone else is relaxed at home. Can everyone hear us? We're all good to go?
I think so. Michael Devlin's having a little bit of issues, I think, aren't you, Michael? Can everyone else hear us on this camera this camera that I'm pointing to? But I think yours is fine.
Michael's on your feed.
Days on technology, I think I'm great. Adam Flynn, the big Flinny warrior brother. How are you, Flinny? Are you going world champion? What's been happening? Are you winning? You taking over any more of Victoria? Hope the team's on this one, mate. Loving it. Loud and clear on Jet's feed, so we're good. I'm good to go.
There we go.
Good to go, good to go.
That's the real estate community here.
Real estate community, we're ready to rock and roll.
I'll, for those watching, here's what we're set up with. Oh, that's nice.
If you're in Queensland at any stage, make sure you come down to NAV Group. Great office, mate.
Thank you.
It's a great office.
All right, let's put this up here. Is the feed okay on track group?
Guys, any questions? We've got Britt, the wonderful Britt's going to be getting the questions around winning the mental game in real estate and asking us. So just make sure you pop your questions in the post, in the feed there, and I'll do my best to try and answer them as well tonight. And listen for the clues for the $1,500 coaching pack.
Okay, so
Ready to go, Ed?
ready to go.
You got your
You might have to look at that. David Cottrell, I think, just joined us on that one. Can you let me know if the sound's okay on that iPad, please? All right, so here we go. Working now. There you go. Michael Devlin says it's working now, brother.
perfect. Good
Yeah,
work.
you got it.
There's your
Oh,
beauty.
here we go.
Cheers.
We'll start this timer.
Yeah, this 45, I reckon 45 minutes and we'll be done. I don't see it happening.
Because Zach always goes for 2 hours, I'm going to try to keep it to 45.
Zach, if you're in America and you're watching, hi mate, hope you're having a great trip, champion.
So, all right, here we go. Cheers, James.
Away we go.
Sorry for the late start, everybody, but thank you for joining in. I think you've got quite a few people commenting for you, Jet.
Quite a few of those over before we finish.
You must be popular, buddy.
Easy, mate, easy. Thanks for having me, mate.
That's okay. Thanks for coming down.
Mate, loving Queensland, just at Caboolture today. Scotty Lackman, hello mate, how you going? And the team there. Raylene at Century 21 as well, how you going?
You've got a busy week, haven't you? Julie as well, you went to see.
Julie went to see Nikki Taylor. I think if you finish your cocktail, Nikki, I hope you're watching. Tomorrow we're at the professionals, so any guys from the professionals in Queensland that are going to be at the train tomorrow, hello. Michelle Rogers out at McGrath, I think it's winning Manly out that way, yep.
You're going to win them as well.
Catching up there. Stevie Hodgson at McGrath at Springfield Lakes, g'day mate. Vish in the city, and the guys from Top Snap Photography going to be seeing you at SeaWorld on Saturday. So this is a great week. I love Queensland, I love Queenslanders, I love Australians.
You love everything.
I just love
You're
everything.
so happy, aren't you?
Mate, I just got to do a shout out to Pete Davis and Julie. Pete's got motor neuron disease, and I just went and had a look at it. Julie does a great job in the community in real estate, and you know, they're still smiling, they're still their spirits are lifted. But mate, Pete, you just keep fighting it, brother, and just keep hanging in there, man. You're inspiring today. It was so good to see your positive attitude, considering, you know, they said you got 2 to 5 years maybe to live, man, and you're saying, no way, I'm going to stick around for longer than that. So, mate, I just want to shout out to you, especially Pete. You're inspiring. Keep the faith, keep strong, and mate, we'll do this together, eh?
Cheers to you, Pete.
Yeah, cheers, mate. Very good.
You never realise how precious life is until stuff like that happens, do you?
Mate, it's you know.
That really puts things into perspective.
Mate, it does. It's we are lucky, and to see someone, a great bloke like Pete, go through this, but to see him step up and be the strength that he is at the moment is absolutely incredibly and inspiring, mate. So, but the funny thing was, you know, what we really talked about was a mental game, and that's what we're talking about tonight. I mean, you made a neuron disease, you basically break down and you can't move anything. And you know, Pete was telling me more than I know about how the brain works and how he's trying to rehabilitate and what they're trying to do about you know building new neurons in the brain so that hopefully that it can repair. So
yeah.
it was an interesting conversation to
Because the
have.
brain's like a muscle, isn't it?
Well, it is like a muscle. It needs to be activated and it needs to be worked. Otherwise, it sits dormant. But the funny thing about the brain is that it's a lazy thing. Yeah. If you make it work, it freaks out because what the brain loves is habit.
Yeah.
It loves just, okay, you did this yesterday, we're doing it tomorrow, I can do this forever. Yeah.
So it's like a routine.
Like a routine.
Yeah.
So when we go to change behaviour or create a new routine, the brain goes, no, I don't like this.
Yeah.
And it starts freaking out because it thinks something's wrong. And this is one of the foundational reasons why people don't break habits. Because the brain loves to stay in a habit where it's easy, it's not using up too much energy, and it's safe. And when we come along and go, hey, I'm going to lose 10 kilos, or I'm going to make 50 calls, or I'm going to do more door knocking, the brain freaks out and goes, I don't want to do it.
Yeah. So is that like a bit of fear? Because what does lead? We call it false evidence appearing real.
Yeah. It's sort of like fear. It's just the evolutionary aspect of the brain just says, no, hang on a second, something's wrong here.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't want to change because what I've been doing has been keeping me operating and safe and functioning, and then whenever we want to shock it, it goes sort of into a little bit of a shutdown mode.
Yeah.
That's why I don't go into work early in the day and do highly complex tasks before you do highly important tasks, because the highly complex task will burn energy in the brain so that when you get to the highly important tasks, your brain hasn't got any energy to function.
That's a good point.
And that's how the brain works. You know, David Rock from Results Coaching, one of the best coaches on the way the brain works at work in the world, teaches this categorically. He says, come into work and do the important tasks that the brain needs to operate and do first, and then get to the highly complex ones as well. So it is a muscle, but it's a bit of a resistant one at times.
Yeah, yeah. And don't they say, now I don't know, 'cause someone said it takes 21 days to break a habit, 21 events to break a habit. And then you listen to someone like Ty Lopez, it says it actually takes more like 76 or 56.
Yeah, and then
My phone was ringing and I haven't turned that off.
how are we doing, guys? Everyone good?
So if there's any questions, Britt, just interrupt us and yell them out. Can you get April maybe take a photo for Jet of the whole setup as well? But just yell out the questions.
And this is the thing, getting back to the brain, how it works. If we look at real estate and being successful in real estate, the three common denominators of successful agents at any level are discipline, productivity, and consistency. And those three things are all part of an inner game. They're all part of the brain. So the reason why people fail a lot of the time in their discipline, productivity, and consistency is because when they go to try and be disciplined or more productive or more consistent, they're asking the brain to do something that it's not habitually used to doing.
Yeah.
So therefore, 9 times out of 10, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
That's why most of the research around willpower is going, well, willpower is not really the key to success when you're trying to get the brain to do something totally different.
Yeah.
Especially around discipline, productivity, and consistency.
So discipline, might have to write this down if someone can on the feed or Britt. So discipline,
Write down now before we get to
Yeah. And I suppose, don't forget, anyone watching this or watching this later, I figured out that if you actually click on the timestamps in these comments that you probably see later in the thread, it'll take you directly to what we're talking about. So Britt might be able to write down.
That's cool.
Yeah, so you can write down this is the topic we're talking about right now, and you can click on that, it takes you straight to that part of the video.
Yeah.
So if you're watching later.
Okay, so here's the thing. So if most days, I've done over 2,500 coaching sessions, so the common denominators is discipline, productivity, and consistency. The top agents have it in spades, yeah? So they're constantly disciplined. So what does that mean? They constantly show up. So that's the first step. You've got to show up or nothing happens. And
So showing up.
and they do it all the time. Then they don't only show up there, but they're productive. So they get high levels of information and tasks done in a day. And then they just repeat the process. And they're consistent in it. But what happens, here's the difference between people at the top of their game and people that are trying to get to the top of the game. As far as the brain is concerned, is those that are super achievers or high achievers, right? And that's 5%. 5% at the top, 15% in the middle, and 80% at the bottom. Those at the 5% have an unfair advantage when it comes to the way their brain is wired. So their brain is actually wired in favour of doing the things that they need to do to create success, such as not procrastinating, such as having clarity, having drive, having a sense of connection to purpose, basically getting shit done.
Yeah.
So their brains are actually wired to do that. That's why that 5% actually have a little bit of an unfair advantage. So when it comes to the rest of the crew, more so that 80% who are trying to be disciplined, productive and more consistent, it's a little bit more difficult. Let me give you an example. Most people know my story, former street kid, heroin addict, in prison, turns his life around, now sitting next to Ed at that group, Hope Island, mate, talking to you people out there. It doesn't happen by clicking your fingers, it happens because something changed in the way my brain was wired, Before it was wired to anger, blame, violence, now it's wired to purpose, passion, and, you know, fulfillment and commitment.
So do you think that something can flick that switch? Like now some people just can go cold turkey on something really quick and others just can't.
I think the majority it takes time. Think about the SAS and the Navy SEALs and all the military type organisations. They take supposedly, well, the study showed normal people who have just got grit and determination. They take them, and what do they do with them? What's the first thing they do with them? They put them under extreme circumstances to see how they react and respond, right? Once they select the ones that are appropriate for those tasks that they want them to do, they put them under more extreme circumstances. Why? Because they're conditioning them for what? For the real game. When someone's got a gun at your head, or a mortar's just gone off next to you, or the truck's just been tipped over. So they actually condition. So it's got to be a process of change. Because if you look at the elite like that, even they go through some 12 weeks, 18 weeks, sometimes it's 2 years at that highest level to pass the grade to become a SEAL or a SAS soldier. But also, more importantly, so that they're conditioned. You know, I train with commandos in Sydney. I trained with them last year at a gym called Commando Tough. And some of the stories they told me about mental aptitude and mental toughness was incredible. I mean, one guy got dropped out of a helicopter and he thought there was supposed to be 20 other guys with him. The helicopters took off and he was the only one standing there. It was like, well, man, you're in enemy territory, you've just been dropped in a helicopter, you think 20 of your mates behind you with bazookas, the helicopters are gone, how do you have the mental strength to get through that? And he said, we're trained and conditioned to do that. So part of the answer to what you're saying is you need to condition it. See ya.
See ya. Good night.
So you got to condition it. It's a process.
So really it's a mental thing, whether it's sport, military, real estate, business. It really is a mental thing.
Relationships.
That's a tough one.
That's a tough one.
Can you help people out with relationships? No doubt there's probably people here that'll say, Jet,
there is. I'm the last person to ask you about that one. But again, there's still some conditioning that needs to go. But back to the core things of growth and performance in real estate. Discipline, productivity and consistency. If you're out there and your business is not doing what you want it to do, if you're not, getting the listings you want to get, if you're not making the calls, if you're not marketing, or if you're not, whatever it is you're not doing, we can always bring it back to those three things. It's a simple, predictable business. You take care of those three things, or you make a commitment to change with those three things, and you're playing a different game. But like I said, unfortunately, it just requires a lot more effort than the guys that are high achievers and super achievers that sort of do it because they're wired differently. It can be done, you can do it, but you have to embark on a pathway of commitment to making that change neurally. It's like I say, you take one USB out and you just put another USB back in.
And I love that meme that says, hustle beats talent when talent doesn't hustle.
That's right,
So you can rewire it. It might be a bit harder for a few people, but you can.
So the thing I see in real estate is a lot of people spend a lot of time on scripts, dialogues, marketing and the whole sexy tricks, which are important as part of the process. But imagine if you spend a lot of time on trying to rewire your brain for success around discipline, productivity and consistency. Imagine if you really committed to that process where you took your mind and the way it was wired to the highest level you can take it, so that you found discipline, productivity and consistency easy to do. It's a game changer if you do that. I know someone's going to ask the question, how do you do that?
Is there a question?
See?
What's the question? Who's asking?
Okay, Elizabeth is asking, what are some of the steps to getting to that mindset?
So Elizabeth was asking, what are some of the steps to get into that mindset?
Great. So the first thing is you're aware that there's an issue there already. That's the first thing. So you bring it into conscious awareness. there's an issue here, I need to deal with it, something needs to change.
So bring it from your subconscious.
Yeah, into your consciousness.
Yeah.
And something needs to change. Now, here's the thing, Elizabeth, what are you prepared to do to make it change, okay? Because that's the difference. That's the big difference. If you're not prepared to do what it's going to take to make it change, then nothing is really going to change. So here's one thing you can do first of all. This is probably one of the most powerful tips that I'll give you tonight. When you want your mindset to change, the first thing you need to do is ask different questions and not make the same statements you always make. Yeah? So let's say prospecting for a change. Geez, it's hard. Yeah? That's a statement about prospecting.
Yeah.
Hang on. This is the call to my dreams. A bit corny, but that's another statement. Question: what can I do in this moment to change the way I'm feeling about prospecting? That's a question. Here's the thing that happens with the brain between statements and questions. When you make a statement, the brain goes, okay, that's cool. Yeah? When you ask it a question, it fires off different parts of your brain that require you to access the thinking part of your brain. Yeah? So I'll give you an example. I don't want to prospect, it's too hard, I got the shits, just lost the listing, I'm not happy today, the world's against me. Yeah? There are a lot of statements that keep us in what's called our limbic system in our brain, or our reptilian part of our brain, which is just our reactive part. So they're statements that keep us there. When we ask ourselves the question, what's the best thing I can do to improve my business right now? We leave that emotional center and that reactive center of our brain and we go into the thinking part. Now we're half a chance to do the right behavior, and we're half a chance to start the conditioning process or the rewiring process. So the questions you ask or the statements you make, Elizabeth, are very important in starting that conditioning process. So I'll give you another example. So I came from a background where I was told that I wasn't any good. So what were the statements that I would make when I come up against a challenge?
I'm not good enough.
I'm not good enough. I can't do this. This is too hard. It's too difficult. So when I started my conditioning process, I started to ask the question, what is the most important thing I need to do right now? Because when I said I'm not good enough, I can't do anything, which part of my brain was I activating? The emotional center. The poor me, the oh my God, this is too hard center. When I said what is the most important thing I need to do now, I was activating the thinking part of our brain, the rational part of our brain, the part of your brain which takes you forward. Do that day in and day out, and that's when the conditioning process starts to take place.
And I saw something that said success is just a series of small steps taken slowly.
Yeah, or the right small steps of small questions.
Yeah.
Day in and day out.
Yeah.
I was a very angry, reactive person, so it wouldn't have taken anything for me to react to something. So through the counselling and the therapy that I went through around positive psychology and cognitive behaviour therapy, I learned that every time I reacted, the reptilian part and the limbic system of my brain went like that. Yeah. So to change it, I had to get into the practice, and it's a practice and a process, remember that, to go, what is the best thing I need to do right now? Yeah. And obviously the best thing I need to do right now is not to get the shits and freak out. Yeah. The best thing I need to do right now is take a breath, calm down, look at it from a different perspective. So over time, I've gone from someone who's reacted in an adverse, violent way to someone who's, fuck you.
Yeah. And I've read that I'm reading a lot of books, and at school I never liked books, and I did a law degree at Bond, and you have to read books, and I think that's why I'm like, I don't want to read a book ever again. Yeah. But now I found a new love, because I think you can educate yourself and learn a lot about, like what you're talking about. But what I was going to get to was, someone did say in one of the books, I can't remember what it was, whenever you're going to make a decision, just take 6 seconds and breathe before you react.
Yeah, so here's the thing about it's called the 6 second rule.
Okay.
So here's the thing.
How good is this, by the way?
So you're prospecting, you get the shits about something you don't want to prospect, or you've lost the listing, or the deals fell over, or it's poor me syndrome, yeah? So you react, that's a reaction. That's chemicals going off in your body, it's being released in your body. And it's the amygdala in your brain which is going wah, 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 freak out time. So the 6 second rule is the emotions will dissipate after 6 seconds. So it's almost like you've got 6 seconds just to hang in there, buddy, and just wait and just let it go. That's the 6 second rule. Okay. And we coach that all the time. Because we're all human, we make mistakes, and you're going to react in a negative way sometimes. Yeah. But if you understand that, hang on a second, and I always have a laugh with my clients, the amygdala, we call her Amy. When Amy freaks out and you freak out, you've got 6 seconds to recover. Yeah. And if you can recover in 6 seconds, what happens is the chemicals that are flushing through your body, they dissipate. and then you're back into calm waters. But this is what happens. You freak out. Within 3 seconds, you're freaking out again, and then within 5, you're still freaking out. So it's just an ongoing thing until something breaks that in 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, and you stop getting the shits. But you can actually do it in that 6 seconds. Remember, all your reactions are chemical reactions, yeah? They're all chemicals. So why not learn, one, where it comes from, yeah? And two, how to control it. It's a far better way to live, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
And when you look at performance, it's a far better way to
And I think if you're more, who was it that talked about just being centered all the time? It was Eric. You can't remember? If someone...
I remember Bresci talked about
Was
this.
it? Yeah, about being centered. So if you're going to have someone loves whatever we're talking about on your feed, so keep pressing that like button. That's cool. We know that you love the topic. Yeah, he was saying about if you're going to have a really good high, and I've got Liv that works with me, one of my PAs, when she gets excited something great happens, she has a massive high.
Yeah.
But then when something sad happens or doesn't go away, she has a massive low.
Yeah.
And I said, just keep it centered. So have a little bit of a high, a little bit of a low, but you're always okay.
But it's more like this.
Yeah, like that. Rather
Than
than
it's like this. See, what's happened in society, we've been sold the lie that you've got to have the downs to experience the highs.
Yeah.
I mean, who come up with that rubbish? I mean, hands up at home in real estate land, who wants to do that? I mean, I want to have a low to experience a high. I want to understand what optimal living is consistently. Back to the mental game for a second.
Yeah.
There's a book out, it's called So You Think You're Happy, yeah? And they did an interesting study with students who were supposedly the smartest ones from the best families who had the most talent and potential. And they got them to write down their mental chatter for 3 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks. The assumption was that these bright students from great families would have positive mental chatter, yeah, the voices in everyone's head. 70% of them had negative mental chatter, yeah? So part of the issue and the challenge is that our mental chatter is primarily negative anyway. And so that is hard to control. Now here are the 3 main things that the mental chatter was about. The first and primary thing was inferiority. Mental chatter around, I'm not good enough. I can't do this. The second one was connectedness to people. Am I loved? Is there someone that loves me? And the third one was control. How do I control? So if you think about it, right, most of the battle we have in our mind is the fact that we don't feel superior, right? We're concerned who does love us in this world, and we run about trying to control things all the time. So that's why you see a large part of society like it is, running around trying to be better than everyone or more superior, because that's trying to help them with the inferiority, running around either being needy in relationships or being avoiding, and running around paranoid about what they can't control, rather than just focusing on what they can control.
And that's a real estate thing. We all, you got something on your phone, I don't even check that for that feed.
It's my battery!
Oh. Hang on.
Hang on! Warning!
Battery.
Warning!
Turn this on. Is it back on? There we go.
Sorry about that. How are we doing?
Battery.
Marcus Washington, mate. How you going? David Weir, Chris Hassan, Panda. It's good to see you, mate. Good to see you.
There's some questions for you there. I don't know if you're going to read that or you're going to read
Mate,
that.
I can't even see him.
Okay, Britt, you might have to read
Can you read
some.
him out? Just give us a thumbs up if we're talking gibberish or if it's going good. What are the questions? But, you know, I'm really passionate at the moment about how we bridge the gap between the lack of discipline, productivity, and consistency, and how we get the brain to engage so that we can do that at a high level. If more agents can just get this, game over.
Yeah. Mate, jetxavier.com.au.
Just .com.
Jetxavier.com. Check this out. Talking about business and something else I learned years ago is colour coding. And I know that we're going to get a little bit away from the mental business thing, but colour coding where it's blue, red, black. And if you want to know what you spend your time on, I can't remember who taught me this, but if anyone else does this, I've been talking about it for years, but if anyone does it or knows where it came from. So, you know, red work is the non-dollar productive stuff, the stuff that you can get admin people to do. Blue work is your dollar productive stuff, so stuff that makes you money, seeing clients, getting listings, going to appraisals, building referral networks, whatever that is for your business. And then black work is actually working on the business. So making it grow or working on plans or whatever it is. So if you want to know, like you were saying, discipline and find out what you should be doing, one thing that changed my life was colour code. Write down everything you do for 2 weeks or a week, then go back and highlight it and you just go, I think everyone will do this. You're doing a lot of red work, you're doing maybe a little bit of blue work, but you're not growing the business or doing dollar productive stuff.
Yeah, and if we go back into the mental game, The reason we're not doing that dollar productive stuff is because of what you said before. Is that fear?
Yeah.
That's
It's
fear.
harder, isn't it?
Well, there's an interesting. I mean, Carol Dweck, who wrote the book Mindset, she studied mindset for 20 years. She realised that there's a growth mindset person who says it doesn't matter if I fail, I can learn. And there's a fixed mindset person who says, well, I don't want to fail, so I won't try. And they're the two different types of people. So when it comes to real estate, around discipline, productivity and consistency and the tasks that are required within those three areas, the growth mindset is part of the super achiever who just breaks through and keeps going. And the fixed mindset is a person who thinks their talent is only up to a certain level. And if you change that, then you're playing definitely a different game.
Yeah.
It's like people are afraid to fail. The cool thing about entrepreneurship, just from an aside point of view, is that entrepreneur schools now, can you believe there's entrepreneur schools? You can get a certificate in
entrepreneurship. It's such a hard word to say sometimes.
Yeah, I can't even spell it, mate. But you can get like the certificates in entrepreneurialism and like what the hell's going on? Like Jack Delos's just led the entourage and all that type of stuff. But the main tenet of entrepreneur school is just fail.
Yeah.
Fail hard, fail fast. I mean, I went to a thought leaders breakfast the other day, and they were talking about what we're going to do is every 3 months we're going to work on a new project, and when that fails, we'll just go to the next one.
Yeah.
Like, so the tables have been turned on how business is done around, failing, because we come from, well, I know I do, I come from a tradition where, you can't fail, you're going to look bad.
Yeah.
People will judge you.
Yeah.
You're obviously not good at what you do.
Yeah.
Where there's been a big shift through entrepreneurialism that, it's okay to fail. Fail fast, fail hard.
Yeah, and I read that, most of the, unless it's Richard Branson, that 50% of businesses will fail. So you can start a business and if it fails, just start another one.
Yeah.
And, you're going to eventually hit it. Something else I read was that successful people compared to people that aren't successful, the only difference is that they failed more times than the other people even tried.
Yeah, exactly.
So they might have failed 20 times, the other people might have tried 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
They just fail more.
Yeah.
It's not a fear, it's just like you said, fail faster.
Yeah.
And
Just getting it over and done with. So entrepreneurialism is about finding out what's not working as quick as possible, so that you don't labour on it for long periods of time and spend too much money and energy on it, and then find out it's crap. Crap anyway.
Yeah. Brent, have we got some questions? I know there's a heap because I can see it on the screens. I'll take a photo with the GoPro so you can see so.
Okay.
Okay.
When you're flat, what's up with the chemicals then?
So
When you're
who
flat.
asked that?
Jeff told.
Jeffy.
Sorry, Jeff.
Polly Gaze? Okay.
So serotonin and dopamine, when they're in our body, they're the happy drugs. They're like having a good Corona and
Come on, drink up.
enjoying yourself. So they're obviously flooding your body, but obviously if we go depressive, suicidal down here and over the moon, outstanding life here, well, the chemical mix is obviously different along the line. That's why when someone's obviously suicidal, they're going to medicate them so that they bridge that gap with the serotonin and the dopamine. So when you're flat, I'm a layman here, but it's just a lack of those types of things. Now, here's the cool thing. Most of us are on this side of depression and obviously feeling suicidal, I would imagine. So when this side, which is us, feels flat, we can instantaneously change that by doing what NLP calls, breaking our state. So physiologically moving, jumping up and down. I mean, I watch so much comedy a day, I should be a comedian. Because why? Because it makes me feel good, it makes me feel happy. If I feel like I've got an attitude, or I'm getting annoyed or itsy bitsy,
You can just feel it coming.
you can feel it. I'll go to comedy, I'll watch something that makes me laugh, I'll jump up and down the spot, I'll get my guitar and start to play it. And so what that does is that releases those good chemicals to make me feel good again. The other cool thing is that I get a lot of my clients to obviously make sure they book their holidays and they reward themselves and that type of thing. Why? Because when you have something that you're going to anticipate, it might be a dinner tomorrow night, yeah? Or coming here, I'm pumped about being here, so I was anticipating, and this is going to be great, awesome, free beer, fantastic, Hope Island, here we go. So what happens when I was anticipating is I was releasing endorphins. So Jeff, when you're flat, You can look at your goal book, you can look at your goal board, you can look at your diary about what's coming up that you love to do, and that anticipation about that will release endorphins as well. Hope that answers that question.
Yeah, yeah. And talk about, you said goal boards, and I'll share this a little bit. I heard this as well.
Nice suit, by the way, mate.
Thank you.
Nice socks too. Did everyone check those socks out?
Check out the socks.
That's it.
Check out the
Sock
socks.
man.
Pussywoodsocks.com.au. Yes, I am their ambassador. So
I'd like to get some of you, mate.
you will.
I'm not going too good on the sock.
That's okay.
They're not good shoes.
I'll hook you up. I'll hook you up. We got heaps.
Hook you up.
Goal
Actually,
boards.
you know what?
Yeah.
Before I came here, I said to myself, when I go to Brisbane, I got to get some socks. I actually said that. Yeah.
You should have told me.
That's another session on the gift or abundance or, you know, mentality. That's what I do.
I'll hook you up. So, you know, little business I'm involved in, but pussywoodsocks.com.au. Go and check them out. Cool socks. Goal boards.
Just self-serve or something?
Yeah, look, if you want to do that, I'll talk about the goal boards. But you might get to, the happier it is, the more gold we're going to get.
That's funny.
Goal boards. I used to have a goal board that had, you know, stuff you wanted, but then someone said to do a vision board. So the vision board essentially is half of it is your goal board of what you want to achieve, what you want, but the other half is the stuff that you have achieved, that you've got, so you can look back at it and go, you know, I have come a long way. I did get that stuff. I have to appreciate what I've done. This is what I want to work towards, but I've, you know, look at what I've got and appreciate it and be grateful for whatever you've achieved, whether it's losing weight.
Come on, ladies and gentlemen, look, there's a beautiful print.
Come on, Greg, come say hi. Camera. I've got to start 40 girls a camera show. So that's the goal board thing. The other thing I did on Sunday, I don't know if anyone watches my Sunday beach inspiration. When I go to the beach, I just, you know, I think of something. Because when I go on the beach, I'm sort of irked. The water in your feet, the sand. And it reminds me of Fiji when we went to Fiji. It just really grounds you.
Yeah.
And I was talking about what's the point? If you're going to work your ass off, and we are allowed to swear on these live feeds, by the way, because Zach made that rule up.
Is that right?
Yeah. If you're going to work your ass off and you're going to work to 9 to 5, you're going to give up time with your family, you're going to come and fly here, you're going to put all the hours in, you need to reward yourself and reward your family, because otherwise, what is the point of working so hard? You can't take it to the grave with you.
Yeah.
So enjoy life, get that balance, and, you know, what's the point of working so hard if you're not going to buy the car you like or eat the food you want or spend it with the family or the friends or...
I agree. Another thing about the goal and the difference between goals and visions, goals are like headlines. We talked about this today. Scotty, if you're still on there, you'd remember this. But goals are like headlines. They're just like statements, where vision is like experiences. It's like, hang on, I want to immerse myself in this, yeah? So I want to go to Fiji. Okay, well, that's a great goal, but I want to go to Fiji because I want to feel the sand. I want to help the community. I want to drink out of coconuts. I want to experience what it's like to laze around for 5 days. The brain relates more to the vision aspect than it does to the goal aspect.
Really? So you've got to feel.
Yeah.
You've got to feel what you're. This is like The Secret.
Yeah, sort of. So
But you got to feel.
Definitely. The funny thing is, when you smile, your brain thinks that something great is happening anyway.
Yeah.
So like when I was running and doing runs, I hated running, but I always used to run with a smile, look like an idiot.
Yeah.
But it made me release chemicals and it made me feel good, and my brain thought everything was all right, even though I felt like crap and was hurting like hell. So.
It's true, and Liv that works here, like, she's always bubbly. So, I mean, how can you not help but smile when someone's smiling back at you?
Well, here's the thing. We don't take enough responsibility for controlling the way our brain impacts our behaviour, yeah? So every behaviour you have, every action you take comes from the brain. It comes from there, a belief system, subconscious. So why wouldn't we try and work a lot harder on actually controlling that in our favour rather than letting it control us?
Sorry, I was saying wise man. Because obviously, when you go through things, you learn stuff, don't you?
Yeah. Britt, was there another question?
Alinta wants to know, how do you combat mental chatter?
So, Alinta wants to know, how do you combat mental chatter?
Yeah, so it's a USB out, USB in. So I do, a lot of my clients, I've done, what are your negative beliefs and what are your positive beliefs? So what are the things you say that aren't resourceful for you, and what are the things you say that are resourceful for you? And then it's a matter of going into battle, yeah? We've evolved for thousands of years to be on the negative side.
Yeah.
Why? Because the mammoths were going to kill us.
Yeah.
We couldn't find a cave quick enough, and there wasn't enough food.
There's a lot of merit in this caveman,
Yeah,
caveman
there is.
mentality. But yeah.
So, and then up to the recent day where they've done studies with accountants, and they've found most accountants are more pessimistic than they are optimistic. Why? Because they're looking for faults and problems and errors all day.
Yeah.
There was another great study as well. They got a group of optimistic people and a group of pessimistic people into a room, and they gave them both the same newspaper. And they said the first one to count the photos in the newspaper wins. The optimistic group won. Why? Because on page 2 it said there are 46 photos in this newspaper. Halfway through they said there are 46 photos. The optimistic people were looking for it. So in answer to the question, it's about what is your negative chatter? You need to find it, you need to own it, you need to actually embrace it, because it's the enemy, huh? I know, man, I spent years working out what my negative talk was. And then I spent years about connecting to the truth and what was the reality, yeah? And so all I did was every time the negative talk came up, I had to replace it with the reality. And that's where the battle comes in. Too many people are lazy in the mental fight. It's like they expect, I just want to be positive and happy.
Yeah, it doesn't just happen.
It doesn't happen like that. You've got to go into battle. It's a war. You've got to really turn up every day, committed to saying, hang on a second, I'm going to take on this challenge, and I'm going to rewire the way I think by implanting new thinking or new belief systems. So I hope that answer helps.
Yeah, and something else that I read about as well, and I do, is whenever you start, your brain, you just hear all these voices. You hear all these voices chattering away. And if it's negative, like negative stuff, we're just feeling, when you just feel for no reason, you just feel angry or jittery, or you don't know why. And it's just a deep breath in, and you just go, and I don't know, you whisper whatever you want, but like just out. And just breathe out, you just go.
So what's happening there? This is cool, yeah.
And you do that for a minute or two, and you just go a couple of breaths in, and then you say the word like out or whatever, and then you do
or something from Aladdin.
Oh, so I don't know. You just say a word like get out or exhale or whatever, and you just
Be gone.
Be gone, whatever it is. And you just, I feel it go like from the top of my head, and it just goes, and you're like, calm.
It's true because words have power, yeah? So calm, you just said calm, yeah?
Yeah.
So if you are frustrated, annoyed, whatever the tenseness or anxiety is, and you say the word calm, and you connect to it, well, it shifts, it alters your state. You know, if you say the word love. I was talking with Julie and Pete today, we were talking about gratefulness, and we were talking about how when you just focus on gratefulness, it basically eliminates every single thing around you. Any problem, any sickness, anything that you're going through, right in that moment when you're grateful, the brain just basically isolates itself and it just connects to the most important thing in your world. So if it does that, why wouldn't we do that more often? And that's what I mean about controlling how our brain works. You want to be in a state of optimal living, not in a state of, living under the line all the time, where you're agitated, irritated, anxious, worried, nervous, especially in real estate, mate. It's a pressure business.
Oh yeah, I think life's a pressure business, but you're right.
Life's a pressure business. Life's a pressure business. It's a bumper sticker.
Yeah.
Nat group. Life's a pressure business.
And you only get one chance at this thing, right? So
I got a couple.
You got a couple of chances.
So some of us get a few chances.
I don't know if he's been reincarnated, but hey.
I don't know. Got a couple of chances.
He's a special one, this one.
Got a couple of chances.
But
any questions, Britt?
No,
Not at the moment. Come on, guys. It's your chance to ask.
Yes.
I hope you got the clues for the $1,500 coaching program.
Oh, we're going to give away. So do you want to talk about a little bit of that now before they do it? Or?
Yeah, why not?
Well, so, Britt, can you actually do a tag so that people can, anyone watching this in the future can just click it and say, click here if you want to know about the giveaway? So just click the timestamp on here.
So I said there, look, I'm up in Queensland, can I come on and have a chat? It's informal, having a couple of beers, having a bit of a laugh. But you guys are spending your time listening and learning, obviously committed to change, so I want to be able to give you something as well. So I'm happy to give away a $1,500 coaching program to someone tonight, and help you basically work on your mental game and help you work on your inner game and help you get ahead in your career. The last 4 months I've done a number of giveaways. One, because I think it's important to give back. 2, because I want to be a contributor. And 3, the world is about the yin and the yang. It's about this. this interaction between us. It's about us working together. So if you're interested, I don't know if you are, but if you're interested out there in working with me and learning what I've learned in 2,500 plus coaching sessions, all you need to do is this. You need to send me an email at jetxavier.com, and you need to tell me why we should work together. Because as my tribe knows, I only work with people who are motivated, who want to move forward, and who are prepared to put the work in. We recently went to Ezra, my group, the tribe, and we had a fantastic time. We were there for about four days, a lot of tequila, but we learned a lot of great stuff because everyone was on the same page, and that's the vibe that I definitely create. So if you're interested, email me jet@jetxavier.com. Why should we work together for the next couple of months? What's it going to bring to your business? Why do you think it's going to help? I'll be happy to get back to you, and I'll choose someone that I think needs it the most. Yep.
Okay. So while we're on it, did you explain, or I suppose, can you explain, if they don't win this and somebody else says, yeah, look, I need a bit of a, what do you call it, like a
kick
snap
in the
or
arse.
a kick in the ass?
It's a mental shift. I mean,
actually, to be honest, it's more like it's being accountable. Like accountability partners are someone that you can be accountable to. Really does. You've got that goal or vision or whatever, but someone that can say, hey, why don't you do it? Are you up to it?
It's accountability, but as my tribe knows, it's more about making that mental shift. I've got a model called Be Live Sell. It's about becoming more, living more, and selling more. There's 12 aspects to that model. I also talk about authenticity and living at the highest level. There's a lot of things around, more about life and who you are, because here's the thing, if you want your business to change, then you need to change. It's not about, most people go here and say, I've got to do something in my business. So out here they try and fix things up, when the main change needs to happen in here.
Yeah.
That's where it needs to happen. So if you go to jetxavier.com, there's plenty of interviews on there. There's actually a free 4-part video series called Why Winners Win, how to become an elite performer. So please go to jetxavier.com, costs nothing, 4 free videos, download it, and hit me up on Facebook if you've got any other questions as well.
Okay, I think there are some questions. Britt?
Well, can you repeat the email address first?
jet@jetxavier.com. So if you send me an email to that, jet@jetxavier.com. Why do you think we can work together? What do you think I can do for you? Why will this happen? And I'm happy to do that.
Yeah, okay. And for anyone that wants to join the program that doesn't win this thing, going, okay, I need to kick up the arse, I need someone to be accountable to, what can you do to help them out?
So if you're interested in having a chat, this is my sales piece.
Yeah, you may as well. I mean, he flew all the way, he drove here, flew here, so let's,
If you're interested in having a chat, just hit me up on Facebook, send me a message, and I'll be happy to do a Skype call with you and find out more about you, who you are, what you're going through, where you're at, what your needs are, and then if there's a fit, we can have further chats. If not, I'll direct you to the right person or try and help you in some other way. So if you're keen to have a chat, you don't have to pay for it. I'm keen to.
There you go. Mobile number is on his website in case you didn't know.
0411 549 191. Now remember, I can't help with relationship issues.
So he says. But okay, so do you have another question? Another question. All right.
Oh, hang on.
On Jets.
Yeah, Scott.
Scott Lackman? Scott?
Scotty Lackman.
Scott!
I'm interested what one of Edgar's experiences he would like to achieve in his life. To make his wife happy.
There you go.
So Scott's asked me what's one of the achievements I want in my life. To make my wife happy, which is always the number one thing you want to do.
Great move.
To be honest, Scott, and I think we discussed this last week, is to leave the world a better place than I found it. I've achieved a lot of the goals that I wanted to, and all the businesses are running fine. I want to invest in more businesses and help other people grow theirs and get their dreams. So if you go to my website, you can actually apply for me to fund whatever you're going to do and take the next step. But I think the next thing for me is helping people with their business and helping them grow. Leave the world a little bit better than I left it, and that's just purely because people close to me. My mum passed away, and we went to Fiji, and I found out there's more to life than money. There's more to life than material things. I love the material things.
Yeah.
But you can't take it with you. It's basically on loan.
Yeah.
Even if you bought it, it's still on loan. Once you die, you don't take it.
It's on loan.
Yes,
I love it. It's on loan.
So your whole life is basically on loan, isn't it? So I think, and a lot of charity work. So we do have a charity arm called That Group Cares, and then we want to get people involved a bit more in charity. And we love animals. What's going on with that one, Britt? Is that dying?
It actually just turned itself off. Haven't turned it back on
Oh,
again.
please hold while I help Britt with the. Is that the Trek feed?
Any questions while we're waiting? We've got a couple of minutes to go. How are we doing out there in real estate land? Who have we got on here? Let's have a look. There's Scotty. Felice, hey man, how are you,
It's
dude?
still on, is it?
It's good to see ya.
Did it say finish?
Nick, g'day mate.
Just like
Jason, how are you, buddy? We've got a few people on. Hey, thanks guys for spending the time with us tonight. Really appreciate it. Much gratitude. Don't forget to hook into the quick giveaway competition.
If there's any other questions, keep going. Anyone watching the Trek feed, I'm sorry, the feed just cut out for some reason. So if you switch over to my either Edgar Nat's page or Edgar Nat profile, you'll continue seeing it. So can you write that down, Bruno? On the Trek feed?
And any questions on Facebook are going through to Brit on my computer. So, and everyone else's computer.
Yeah.
So just remember that. Is there anything else left? How can I help? How can we serve you more?
What other questions have we got?
We're good?
People have gone quiet.
All right.
Oh well, that's. I think honestly, if everyone can and give Jet some love, okay, if you love this, give it a thumbs up or just say awesome work, Jet, on all the posts. That'll be nice, and give him some love. Get some stuff happening there. Did we cover a lot of? Well, we covered how to win the thing.
We covered the winning the mental game, definitely. There's a lot of stuff in there. What I would say is this is recorded, so you can go back over it.
Yeah.
Go back over it. I guarantee there'll be about 15 or 20 key points around winning the mental game in real estate in there once you dissect it.
Yeah.
Adam Sargent has asked, do you have a podcast yet?
Adam Sargent, how are you?
Actually, Adam Sargent's doing like a charity thing, I think.
But he's a legend. He's
So,
a charity man.
good on you for doing that.
No, I don't, mate. It's not something I've put together yet, but certainly, obviously, something might happen down the track.
Yeah.
I might just come back here next Wednesday night. Let's do that. Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Yeah.
Once again, look, thanks a lot. Don't forget jet@jetxaviert.com if you want to get the $1,500 coaching program, or if you're interested in having a chat. No obligation. Happy to chat. Happy to help as much as I can.
Yeah. There you go. So it's really just getting your whole mind. Should we cover, just for anyone that hasn't had a chance to watch the whole video, and then we'll probably later on coming in,
Some key points.
cover some key points. So,
Two Coronas and key points.
You need another Corona?
No, I'll be good.
So let's anyone that's going to watch towards the end.
So the key points, let me think,
Any key snippets?
see if I can remember them. The key points is one,
Let's see if you remember it.
high achievers have an unfair advantage because their brains are wired differently. So the rest of us need to work harder at the rewiring process to create success.
Okay. Like Oprah Winfrey says, what you focus on expands.
Yeah,
So focus on
perfect. I love
rewiring.
that. Yeah, focus on rewiring. 2, discipline, productivity, and consistency. That's where the game's played. Yep. So if you can work on your brain and get those cranking through doing the right questions, remember, when you're reactive, you're using the emotional part of your brain. When you're asking the right questions, you're using the logical and rational part of your brain, which is going to help you with those 3 areas. That's another one that I remember.
Yeah.
Anything else? There's something about a goal and vision board.
Goal and visions or goals. Or
That's right.
Feel the vision. Or
Feel the vision as opposed to the goal, definitely. Also mental chatter. Remember we talked about mental chatter, yep. So most of the mental chatter is, I'm not good enough. Is anyone going to love me? And I need to control everything. So if we understand what a mental chatter is, we can actually reverse that and change that. Cool? There's 3 things.
There's 3 things.
Watch it again.
Are there any other questions in the meantime?
No, but Jeff Polly has lost due to his drunk.
He's drunk.
Cheers, buddy.
Cheers.
Jeff, You've got to come and join us so that, you know, we can continue the drinking. Something I do want to ask you a question of, and this is from Ty Lopez. So if anyone doesn't look, you know, look him up. He's pretty good. He was saying, as great as school is in the education system, they basically teach you to be closed-minded. You learn their questions, their answers, and you're judged on whether you know the right or wrong answer to just that situation. It's just like this.
Yeah.
They don't teach you how to manage money, how to take risks, how to handle fail, how to be an entrepreneur, how to expand business, how to fund your life and stuff like that. I think school's changing a little bit from what my girls are saying, but it's really more work to the system.
Yeah.
Should we try to think outside the box? I think a lot of people are thinking outside the box.
Well, Montessori thinks outside of the box. That's a schooling system that works the 7 intelligences, if you call them. Like we used to think there's only maths, science, and I think English. But what they realise is there's more intelligences than that. There's kinesthetic, there's emotional, there's a whole range of them. So Montessori is sort of expanding that platform as well as far as, you know, learning. And I think even my daughter, you know, she's 17, just turned 17, and she had a bit of a difficulty at school, but she's going to go back to. She's doing year 11, and she said, "Dad, it's just not working for me. I'm going to go to TAFE next year and do year 11 and 12 in 1 year." And she always says to me, she says, "Dad, they're just not teaching me anything. You know, what am I learning about life?"
Yeah.
So that's my 17-year-old daughter telling me, you know, when I go, "Why are you going to school?" She's going, "What do they teach me? It's just stupid."
They're not preparing them for life.
Well, they're not, you know, I can't, I mean, look, I left school at 14, so I'm a great candidate for input into this conversation. And I went back to uni when I was 38 years of age, and I got high distinctions and everything in my first year. So, you know, intelligence can't be based on one type of schooling or one type of intelligence, because you might have an interpersonal intelligence, which means you can relate to the world, whereas I might be able to. That's still an intelligence. You might have an artistic intelligence where you can relate to the world. But most schools don't encourage that, you know. It's just get them in, get them out, get them into the labour force, and away we go.
So if any kids are watching this and you're not doing that great in school,
don't do this at home.
But if you're not doing that great in school, it doesn't mean that you're a failure. It doesn't mean that you're not worth it. It just means that you might
now.
It just means
We
that
heard him just say that. Leave now.
It just means that you might
that group told my child to leave school.
Stay in school, but just understand that you are worth it, that you are awesome, and that you just might have to.
I don't know if we should stay in school. I think you just should think.
Yeah, but anyway.
We're being dumbed down.
That's good thing.
We're being dumbed down. We're just a dumbed down. We're a dumbed down world. You know. You know what I mean? Like, my God, look at the American elections at the moment. They're our choice. I thought we had bad choices in Australia. Imagine being an American right now and having to choose between Clinton or Trump.
Yeah.
Now they've both got, you know, they've both done some good things, but oh my God, I mean, we're in a dumbed down society, you know. And I'll tell you, the thing about going back, not back, it was my first time, but the thing about going to Ezra, it just the simplicity struck me. I think we were at the Rock, at a water hole, and the guide was talking about the fact that the owners of the land there, when they look out into the scrub, we see a beautiful tree. Look at that nice sky, or look at that nice plant. They don't see that. They see medicine. They see something to help and support them. They see it totally different. And we've lost that simplicity, totally. We've totally lost that simplicity. And if we relate to real estate, we've lost it in real estate too, because I sat down with Phil Harris in South Australia a few months ago and did an interview and had a look at his operation. Brilliant operation. And he said the problem with real estate agents, he said they're trying to reinvent the wheel. He said it's a simple game. He said it's predictable, it's simple, just get it done. You know? Just follow that. He goes, if he has any trouble with any of his agents, because they're trying to go, oh, no, let's do this, let's do that, let's do this, let's change this. It's just like, no, here it is.
Back to basics.
Back to basics. Keep it simple, just like Ezra. You're out there, it's a rock in the middle of nowhere, reflection, contemplation. Nice.
Reflection, contemplation. I'll share this with you, and we've always said it. Brett and I went to Fiji. And I've never been. We went in the middle of the military coup, didn't we?
Do we need another corona?
We might do another.
Because that says yellow, another one.
Yeah.
That says 000. Is there anyone still on here?
We're over time.
Andy Kant from New Zealand, mate. How are you, champion? Is there anyone still hanging around? There's a couple of people.
You do. You're
All right, well, we'll hang for about 10 minutes. Is that cool?
All right, so actually, you might have some questions. Don't forget, schools are really about answering the needs of the Industrial Revolution. Absolutely right.
Yeah, that's said by a true Scotsman.
That can really prepare yourself for modern life.
Andy, I love you, mate. Good to hear from you.
Scott Brown, don't choke on that time. What is the best way to... Okay, Richard Hain. I'm going to start answering some... This is for you. Richard Hain's asking, what is the best way to set mindset for go time?
Set mindset for go time.
Go time. So I don't know if you want to expand on that, and Britt, can you let us know, Richard? But so I'm assuming he's saying, what's the best way to...
It's all about physiology.
What's the best way to say, right,
How do you feel when you have a beer? You feel good.
Yeah.
How do you feel when you interact with someone? You feel good. How do you feel when something goes your way? You feel good. How do you feel, when you win something? You feel good. If I think I know what you're talking about, getting ready for go time, maybe prospecting time or listing time, or it's all physiology. It's all getting this thing into alignment with this thing and going bang on a chemical level, like we talked about earlier. That's something else we talked about.
Oh, that's right. See, there's another thing.
Manipulate your chemicals. If you're not taking drugs, they're the next best thing. Okay. Any Sydney real estate agents on here? I'm only joking. If you're not taking drugs, manipulate your chemicals, and you do that through physiology. I mean, Tony Robbins taught us that through NLP, that you can change your state like that, yeah? So if you're drab, flat, you're ready for go time and you're not feeling like it, just slap yourself around a bit, jump up and down, get moving, get blood coursing through your veins, get the endorphins going, and then you'll be ready for go time anytime.
Isn't there an actor that does that, where it
That's Matthew McConaughey.
Oh, is it Matthew
No,
McConaughey?
that was a movie.
No, he seriously
What was
does
it?
it.
Does it
That's
as well?
right, wasn't it? So that actually talking about Wolf of Wall Street, where he was
That was him getting ready for the scene.
He really does that.
Well, have you seen what's in Tony Robbins' doco at the moment? Before he goes on stage, he does this big spin and wow, he just gets.
Do you need to do that? Can you show us?
Well, once he's there, I can't spin on fall over. That's my first corona. That's I'm good after one. But what's happening? He's electrifying himself through the chemical release. Manipulate the chemicals in your body.
So manipulate the chemicals. Get yourself out of that.
They're there. Manipulate. It's such a simple thing to do.
Yeah.
I've been watching Stephen Wright. Stephen Wright, the comedian, the driest comedian in the world, Stephen Wright, but the funniest guy ever. I just watched Charlie Sheen roast. That was
That would be funny.
That was funny.
If anyone's got the link, put it on the feed here.
If anyone's got the Charlie Sheen link of his roast, put it on there. It's hilarious. Because when you laugh, you just feel good.
Yeah.
You feel good.
You can't feel bad
That's
laughing.
right.
Can
You can't be sad and happy at the same time.
No.
That's impossible.
There you go. You can't be sad and happy at the same time. Someone write that down.
Yeah, someone right now. I got it from somewhere. I ripped it off from somewhere.
But talking about what we were saying before, I was saying about Fiji when we went there, and went through the military coup thing. But when we went there, the Fijian people.
You went in the military coup.
We went during the military coup.
Really? Like,
Yeah.
what?
It
Let's
was
go
just-
for a holiday trip. Well, there's a coup on.
A friend of ours got-
It's like let's go to Syria for a holiday. Right?
Oh, it gets better.
It doesn't
We
get
hired a car. We
Yeah.
drove to Suva.
We drove to see Ohio. They're saying don't leave the resort. I'm like, no, I want to go see the real Fiji. Don't leave the resort. Hire me a car. I'm going to Suva. Anyway, what I wanted to say is that the Fijian people, when we were driving there, and the highway is just two lanes of the crappiest road you've ever seen. And then they lived in these shacks, weren't they? It's like just bricks with corrugated iron roofs. There was no little doors. When someone dies, they bury their family member like basically in the front yard 5 meters away. The kids were playing in these drains where the water was just gushing. They were so happy. They didn't leave it anything special at all. It's just like I said, brick wall, corrugated iron roof, no real windows. But they had plasma TVs for the rugby. That's
And mobile phones. It's like homeless people in Sydney.
Probably.
They're like sitting there, can you feed me? And they're like playing Candy Crush on their mobile phone. What's that about?
I don't know, Candy Crush. But what got us is as we're driving past, and there's just, I don't even know how long the road was, like 40 minutes of driving like this, and you see the kids just happy in the little bit of clothes, just playing in the rain with that, and I'm just going, life is so much more than all the material things that we worry about. and they're just so happy with the simplest of things. They must really be connected. And it's sad, like we're going, oh, you should have more, but maybe they don't need more.
Well, it's an interesting thing. I mean, Sam Harris talks about happiness, and he talks about it in the sense of basically all of our happiness in the world that we live in, our Western world, is about reiterating pleasure to avoid pain. So, have a beer, I'm happy, yeah? Go out, I'm happy. Have sex, I'm happy. Sell a house, I'm happy. So it's always reiterating the pleasure to avoid some type of pain. And what his question is well, is that happiness? Is that real happiness? What is happiness outside of? What is happiness outside of that? If we get up every day and we're consistently reiterating pleasure to avoid pain, is that real happiness? And he asks the question, if we're not doing that, then what is that space? Is that happiness? And he believes that's where the true happiness sits. And if we look at meditation, that's part of, they're not reiterating pleasure to avoid pain. They're in a space that's far removed from that. So the kids you're talking about, or any, let's say, third world country that appears to be more happy without what we have in our society, I think it's about that. They're not chasing that pleasure train on a day-to-day basis.
So it probably leads that question of, do you really need all this? And does that cause you more stress by wanting more, having more, doing all the material?
I think it does, but I mean, it's good to have. You're here to play. For me, my philosophy is, this is a game, let's play it, get as much as you want, do whatever you like to do without hurting anyone, enjoy everything that life has to offer.
Yeah.
You know, don't die thinking about it,
Yeah.
but don't put it up here.
Yeah.
Because, you know, we know through, you know, just what you said, it's a great example. We went to Bali with my tribe last year of members, and we built swings, and they were pretty dodgy swings. I don't know if there's been any court cases since then. Marcus Washington, have you been called? But, you know, we built swings for the kids. The kids just got on the swings and were happy, so they were everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, except we're complaining, oh, I'm on the third floor of the room and I didn't get my towel, you know.
Yeah. Jacqueline Hackett has a question, but before I read this out, because it's a pretty long question, Jacqueline, but thank you. That's what I was going to say. Well, and I've noticed this in the real estate side, especially the resi resale side, that a lot of us are trying, and I think it's changing, but a lot of us are trying to get the bigger house and the mansions and the multiple roofs and the triple garage and all this stuff, while our parents and our grandparents, they're happy with their one little 3-bedroom house that's paid off, they've got their one car, and they're just happy living like that. So, because we're chasing more, I think I've seen a lot of people lose money, lose houses because they're going for the big thing rather than maybe just living to your means, or just not going so far they're going to risk stuff, but don't risk it all.
Well, there's a difference between playing a game to risk, and that's fun.
Yeah.
Right? Or getting stuck in a world that requires you to play that game when you really don't want to.
Yeah.
It's what we call aligned values. So when I coach, we talk about how do you align your values with your goals or your vision so that you're authentic.
True. Okay. I think Richard had a question, but we'll read that out after this. So Jacqueline Hackett, what about manipulating mindset? When people ask me what do I do for a living, I tell them I'm a matchmaker. I don't see myself as a real estate agent. The mental image helped me visualize someone who helps clients rather than a salesperson. Jeff, do you think this is a useful mindset?
Which camera?
This one?
Yes!
I don't know which one. Sorry.
Yes, I do! You know why?
Why?
Because here's the thing. This is such a great question. Oh, a great statement. Here's the thing. I don't work with real estate principles. Yeah?
Yeah.
I work with dream builders.
Dream builders.
Because you're a principal, you're a dream builder. You're a dream builder on two fronts. You're a dream builder for the people who work for you here. You're helping them build their dreams, and you're a dream builder for the people out in the marketplace.
Yeah.
So it's a great way to look at it. You're not running a real estate agency, it's a dream factory, mate.
Yeah.
This place here is a dream factory for anyone that walks in this store and works for you, and anyone who walks in the door that wants you to do business with them.
Yeah.
That's what I look at. So, Dan, who said that? Jacqueline?
Jacqueline Hackett.
That was a cracker.
So, a matchmaker.
Yeah, I love that.
What else have we got? I know Richard Haynes said something about prospecting the car, or was that just in one of the feeds? Can you see that?
I can see it, but it's not a question.
Okay, what was it?
Like pre-prospecting in the car before presentation.
Oh,
Yeah, so getting pumped up.
so getting pumped up before. So getting pumped up before you go to listing presentation. I suppose it's like music. You get
Easy, all that sort of. But here's the thing, guys. It's a practice. You have to practice it. It's like brushing your teeth. It's like eating food. It's like having a shower. It has to become set. It has to become automated, like most of our habits are. If you automate great physiological change, habits, then it's a game changer. Absolutely.
There you go.
Well,
Unless you have any other questions, I'm going to get him drunk before he goes to his hotel. But that's what you wanted.
there you go. I might have to walk. Thanks again, guys, for being on.
Yes.
Don't forget jetxaviert.com if you haven't sent an email already to get that $1,500 coaching pack. Please send one, or otherwise go to jetxaviert.com and get the free 4-part video series. Or just hit me up if you want to have a chat and need help with anything. I'm happy to help.
How awesome is this guy? For me anyway, if anyone, like I said before, if you like this stuff, can you actually say, great work, Jet, or just comment here, just give him some love. But this for me was really interesting because I love the way people think. Because I think someone said, what you think you become.
Yeah.
So if you think you're amazing, you're going to work your way towards amazing. And you attract good stuff. If you think if you think you're going to be a nice person, or you are a nice person, you attract that back.
Yeah, I agree.
So what you think you become, what you focus on expands.
I love it.
There you go.
All right.
Any last questions before we hit stop? Because I did have a 45-minute timer, but in true Zach fashion, we've gone over. Thank you, Zach. It's 3 a.m. So when you watch
3
this,
a.m. Where is he? Chicago? Is he still in Chicago?
Oh, he's gone on his motorbike. Even though the guy had a motorbike accident, was in hospital for God knows how long when I went to visit him, he's gone back on a bike.
All good.
Good on him.
All right.
Brett, any questions? Or we're going to finish this up.
We're done.
Thank you so much, guys. As I always say, keep being awesome.
Thanks, guys. See you
Thank
later.
so much.
Take it easy.
Oh, and by the way, if you do want to ask any more questions, you can afterwards. Still write on here because you can still write a comment. And then Jet will come back and start.
When I get back to my motel room, I'm by myself. I'll need to talk to someone, so I'll answer your questions then. How's that?
There you go. Awesome.
We're done?
We're done. We just have to hit finish. Thank
Chris
you so
Gilmore!
much, guys.
I love you, Chris Gilmore.
We've
You're
got-
my
we've got-
favourite F3 driver. You know that.
What are you doing?
F3, yeah.
F3. I don't know much about the Formula.
He knows.
Oh, okay. All right. So thanks, Andy. Thanks, Chris. Thanks, John. Thanks, Richard.
How do you stop it?
I think you just hit finish down the
Technology.
bottom here. Thank you so much. There you go. I'm going to hit finish on these ones. So thanks. See you, Richard. There you go. And then you just hit post.
See you guys.
Thanks, Brenda. And
See you
Jacqueline
guys.
sent you something as well. So thanks, Jacqueline. See ya.